Before you go quit your job, text your ex, or cut yourself some bangs of regret, listen up. February 2026 kicks off a once in a 29-year Saturn and Aries boot camp, and the universe just put your name at the top of the chore chart. If you're stepping into the beginning of February 2026 feeling like the universe just slapped a thick spiral bound homework packet on your desk, well, sugar, you are not imagining a thing. The cosmos is handing out assignments like a substitute teacher who's had enough. February is not your regular old month. No, ma'am, no, sir. This one is astrologically stacked like your granny's 7-layer salad at a church potluck. We've got Saturn changing signs for the first time in almost 3 years, Neptune moseying into Aries for a 14-year spiritual pilgrimage, and Pisces season drifting in like a foggy emotional tide right in the middle of it all. So, if lately you've been feeling like you really need to get your life together or finding your own spiritual path instead of borrowing someone else's, then darling, that is not your imagination acting up. That's the cosmos literally rearranging the furniture of your life. Now, don't worry, I'm going to walk you through exactly what's happening this month. What's it mean to you specifically, and most importantly, how to work with these energies instead of getting swept away like a lawn chair in a tornado. Because, yes, these transits are happening to all of us, but it's about how we respond that'll help us maintain our own unique power. So grab your coffee, your water bottle, your journal, or whatever else you need to keep yourself grounded and settle in with me. Let's talk about February 2026 because Lord knows this month has got some things to say. Alrighty, let's jump right on into the deep end because the first transit is not playing around. Oh no, Saturn is marching its stern little self into Aries on February the 15th, 2026. And when I tell you this is a big deal, and I mean a big deal like your mama calling you by your full government name big, well, it's that. This is a once every 29-year kind of shift, the cosmic equivalent of a life audit you did not schedule but somehow desperately need. Now, before we unpack the drama, let's remind ourselves who Saturn is. Saturn is that no nonsense elder in your family who loves you but absolutely will not let you cut corners. It's the planet of discipline, responsibility, structure, karma, and those life lessons you'd really rather not repeat. Saturn doesn't care if you're comfy, Saturn cares if you're growing. Saturn shows up saying, "Sugar, here's what you're going to learn whether you're ready or not, so go on ahead and get your shoes on." For the past few years, Saturn's been splashing around in Pisces, teaching us all about spiritual boundaries, emotional maturity, letting go of victim stories that we've been dragging around for far too long, and figuring out the difference between healthy compassion and straight up codependency. And just in case you didn't know, that chapter is a closing. Now, Saturn is strutting in its Aries, and Aries energy is a whole different rodeo. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, the spark, the starter pistol, the flame that says, "I'll go first." Ruled by Mars, Aries is all about the self with a capital S and bravery, sometimes reckless, but you didn't hear that from me, and showing up as the pioneer, the trailblazer, the one who doesn't wait for a committee meeting to decide the next step. So, what does it mean when Saturn, the cosmic coach, teams up with Aries, the cosmic daredevil? Oh, baby, it means the next 2.5 years until mid 2028 are about you stepping into your own authority. And here's the syllabus Saturn is handing out. 1. Personal responsibility. Saturn in Aries is basically saying, "All right, sweetheart, no more pointing fingers. You're the author of your life. Now pick up the pen." If you've been blaming your ex, your boss, your upbringing, the economy, Mercury retrograde, or the dog, nope. Saturn in Aries hands the accountability mirror right back at to you. And 2. Courage. Where have you been playing it safe? Where have you been waiting for permission like someone was going to notarize your dreams? Saturn in Aries pushes you right out of the nest, not to be mean, but to show you that you can fly. And 3. Independence. This transit teaches healthy selfishness, which is basically putting your own needs first without apologizing, whispering, or shrinking. If you've been clinging to a relationship because you're scared to be alone, well, Saturn is going to shine a big old spotlight on that. And 4. Leadership. This is the era of stepping up instead of shrinking back. No following the crowd, no waiting for someone else to get things started. Saturn in Aries hands you the keys and says, "Get up and drive." Now let's talk real life examples because Saturn does not operate in the hypothetical. If you've stayed in a relationship because loneliness felt scarier, well, Saturn will test that. If you've been waiting for someone to recognize your potential before starting your business, well, Saturn says, "Baby, you can recognize it yourself." Been blaming your past for why your present isn't where you want it to be, well, Saturn's like, "Okay, but what are you going to do about it now?" And let me be real clear, this is not punishment. Saturn isn't cruel. Saturn is mature. Saturn loves you enough to tell you the truth straight up and teach you how to stand tall on your own. Now, how to work with Saturn and Aries? Well, you'll need about four options, and here you go. Take radical responsibility, even when it stings. Do the brave thing you've been avoiding. Start, in, speak, leap. Quit waiting on permission slips no one's going to sign. And build your path, not the ones folks expect you to walk. And if you need some quick hits by sign, here you go. Aries, Saturn is sitting in your living room, so your personal rebuild era has arrived. Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, Saturn is squaring or opposing you, so don't expect frictionless growth. You're going to feel this one. Leo and Sagittarius, you're getting a supportive trine, so courage comes more naturally. And Taurus and Virgo, this is a sextile energy for y'all, so taking practical steps will help open doors. Gemini and Aquarius, this is neutral for y'all. Your lessons shown up in communication and in the community. And Scorpio and Pisces, well, these angles are a little bit awkward, so get honest about balance and me, we, and all of them. We'll circle back to the sign-specific homework later, but for now, just know Saturn in Aries is calling everybody to grow up, step up, and claim your authority, so have it your way.